Hello, everyone. We're here once again for Beware the Batman discussions, and we're talking about family, our uncles, our aunts. No, wait, sorry, that's the name of the episode. Okay, so what? This is really interesting. This is like we get a flashback, and then we move forward in this. So basically, we start off with a fight, and then before you know it, we're back at the beginning, and at the beginning we see Katana and Batman have sort of teamed up, and we're not entirely certain at first whether Batman has revealed his identity, but at least I wasn't sure. But it was cool to see him teaming up to take on the League of Assassins. And we got the return of Silver Monkey. Pretty cool. A lot of good stuff in this episode. But basically, I feel that it's 10 minutes of good intro stuff, and then the rest of it's just one giant fight.
Well, remember, we pick up where we left off with the Argus Club. With Ravencroft, with Bethany Ravencroft, luring Bruce Wayne into a trap. It's a trap!
Yeah, I'm not saying it, but there was parts of this that made me think of like Mortal Kombat, the Mortal Kombat intro, like, oh, all of a sudden this person shows up. It did feel like cutaway game scenes at sometimes, but not bad ones, like the good ones, you know. That's still just what I was thinking when I saw some of this. But it was definitely a great show, a lot of action in it. I don't know why ninjas are using bows and arrows, though.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Wolverine, they had bows and arrows.
Yeah, but they weren't real ninjas.
Well, what do you mean they were ninjas?
They weren't real ninjas. Real ninjas don't use bows and arrows.
I'm sorry, are you a ninja, Magpie?
Oh, yes. I am a ninja. No.
The Australian
No, I'm just
ninja,
saying.
how terrifying.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just if I was real, like that's just little problems. I'm not feeling like I just. If I'm being critical, if I'm putting my critical hat on, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, you know, overall, I kind of feel. Overall, I kind of feel the way you do about Anarchy with this episode.
Okay, you didn't particularly like this one?
Here's the thing. It's a good episode. Okay? It's more of a taste issue in that I like it, it's not my favorite. I may put this closer to the bottom or at the bottom because it's just... Rewatching this, I like it more. I'll give you that. So at first, I wasn't too thrilled with it. I was just thinking, okay, well, it's more moving things forward and just... It's moving things forward, and it just felt standard. That's kind of the best word I could use to describe it. It kind of feels standard. Each episode so far has had like something really making it stand out. You know, you had the kind of eco-terrorist in the first episode. You had, you know, real deep psychosis in the second episode, and you got kind of a guy with more craziness, but kind of with a social message to it. He's trying to get across, and then you got what we have here. It's the introduction to the League of Assassins and this whole Katana plot line. Then it goes on to the whole Humpty Dumpty episode. And then you get the Metamorpho episode. And then we get this. This one just felt like, okay, it's standard. It's not the episode's fault. It's continuing a plot line. So it feels like where Anarchy is the beginning of something, and this is the end. The ending, or at least kind of a halfway point to a story. So it's nothing against the episode's plot or the story. So it's a good story. It just felt standard. You just, again, as you said, kind of ends in a big action fight. But I have really kind of one major problem with it, though.
Yeah, sure.
The reason it doesn't really do it for me. There's a scene in this episode where at the end it's revealed that Bruce Wayne knew everything. You know, he knew about Katana's past and everything, and that's fine. That's all well and good. That fits with Batman. But here's the problem. Earlier on, it's no surprise because earlier on, Bruce learns from Katana, the Soul Taker sword, and basically he fires Alfred and then he fires Katana. The problem is, I think it's just a little too obvious that. The problem is, it's just too obvious that okay, he's not really firing Alfred, he's not really firing Katana. It's part of his plan. It's a little obvious. If they made it a little less obvious, I think I would have liked this episode more.
Yeah, I kind of knew that too, but I'm willing to roll with it. I knew that was part of his plan, but I didn't know exactly how it was going to fit in with everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I kind of would have liked it more if you really did know. Like, maybe you thought Bruce actually got angry enough to fire Katana. And I'm saying it's just instantly, I'm on board for it until Alfred says, I tender my resignation. It's like him saying, it's Alfred saying, I tender my resignation. Bruce just easily goes along with it. He says, you're fired also. You know something's up, and I think it's a little too on the nose. Like, if they actually made the acting on Bruce in the beginning of that scene is like he's actually surprised. Like, he might not know this.
Mm.
I'm saying, like, they could have played it off differently, and it might have been better, at least given this episode like, a little more to it. Not that it's bad. I don't dislike this episode. It's not a bad episode by any means. It's just not as thrilling as the other ones. It doesn't have that kind of that thing that's making it stand out. Like, this episode has a lot of good stuff in it. Like, for instance, in the opening, there's this great limo fight between Katana and Silver Monkey, which opens hilariously, by the way, when she's like playing on her game. We think she's fighting or something, and we hear just like she's playing the game. Oh, I so hit you. You were.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
It's funny. That was just that limo fight. Like, if the episode was more like that limo fight, I think I might have liked it more. It's really interesting. Confined space, and you got like a little nerve attack in the wrist. It was cool, and they basically blew up the limo, and it calls back to it with that great sense of comedy we're getting from the show so far. With the, scene where that one scene of Bruce Wayne and the Alfred firing scene starts, where he's saying, if you're apologizing about the limo, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's covered by insurance. What the vandals did. But then also I'm sorry, just really briefly, the intro to that scene also was just Alfred, he's polishing the gun, and then Katana walks in with an ice pack on her head saying, we need to talk. Yes.
I was just thinking about this episode, and it to me it was like it's the most action packed. It's not a huge story. It's just like but it's at least it's moving plot points forward.
Exactly.
That's what I like about it. It's fun. We're only 8 episodes in, and they're moving the plot forward really well. So that's good. I like that. We're not staying on we're not staying on that sequence for like too long, and we got a good build to Katana joining Batman. So that was really cool.
I don't want to sound too harsh against this episode because it's not a bad episode at all. It's just this is mostly my personal taste issue. Just saying that But to really be critical, I think maybe a problem with this episode is that it's not exactly from Katana's point of view or Bruce's point of view or Alfred's point of view. It looks like it's starting at Katana's point of view, but then it's not. It kind of jumps around a little. It just doesn't exactly know who it's following for this story, and still the story comes through, so it's still good. Now again, rewatching this, I like it more, especially the ending. I think
I've only watched this once, so yeah.
I think,
and that was a fair while ago.
Yeah, but the main thing, I guess, to the equivalent as I've been mentioning first with the other 6 episodes having something that makes it stand out. What really makes this episode stand out is the third act with Lady Shiva.
Yeah,
and of course the unmasking. But Lady Shiva is great. That whole ending scene starting when Lady Shiva walks in is really when things get interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, I knew you were talking about her with me, like, throughout this discussion thing. Like, I knew eventually we were getting her, so that's really cool. Yeah. I'm glad.
I thought she was great, by the way. I mean, the voice actress was great. The character design was great. They're making her interesting. It's almost like kind of a Ra's al Ghul type character, but getting as an introduction, which is always a strong introduction.
Yeah.
And keeping her mysterious, but also a threat. And she says, I sincerely hope you survive so I can finish this battle properly. That was a great line. And then the bows and arrows come out.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen Lady Shiva since Birds of Prey.
Well, I mean, that's in live action. Animation, we haven't seen her since Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. And she basically gets taken out by Batman quickly, but, you know.
Yeah, so
Problem
apart...
is, Lady Shiva's a great character, but she doesn't really get justice in animation or live action. Like, rarely it happens, is what I'm getting at.
Well, this time I think we got a sense. Oh, this is one bad chick. So I got, and she like she takes out Silver Monkey, who's like the one guy that sort of like challenged Batman throughout this series. Like you could say Anarchy would be the other one, but this is Silver Monkey was the one that like sort of.
I guess he would be sort of the equivalent, and this is like just a broad generalization, kind of an equivalent to Ubu for Lady Shiva, where, you know, Ubu to Ra's al Ghul, where Silver Monkey is kind of the subordinate to Lady Shiva.
Yeah.
And a lot of, again, rewatching this, a lot more interesting things come out to me. Like, for instance, you get the sense that, you know, things aren't right with the League of Shadows, where he's basically Silver Monkey has this line where he's saying to Katana, you know, she'd be less forgiving to this than I. And basically it's him admitting, yeah, there are problems with the League of Shadows, and maybe I could lead her. These guys are a little crazy, and we could lead it better than them. So what he's getting at, we haven't gone all the way up to the top yet with Ra's al Ghul yet, but still it's interesting. And there's this great bit of character I really like with Lady Shiva in the episode, since I thought we could discuss death for a bit here with this episode.
Yeah.
Because there is this bit where at first I thought, well, he's getting shot in the neck. Oh, no, he's dead. Like Curare or poison or something. He's a goner. But no, and she has this great line, because I love how they addressed it, saying, oh, I won't kill you. You're going to suffer before that. Basically, she says, you know, I have much more plans for you. You're going to suffer like you haven't before. It's really cool. Like, oh, man, she's not killing him. And she didn't kill Ravencroft either. Her soul got absorbed into the sword.
Yeah, that was kind of a cheat.
Yeah, well, you know, they're basically at the end, whenever that sword gets shattered or reversed or something, she's going to be back to life.
Yeah, that's kind of a cheat.
No, actually, maybe they don't do that and just kind of suggest that, yeah, she died. But they made a point of saying she doesn't die, so who knows?
Yeah, well, to me, that was like, oh, come on. She's like, her body is like
shriveled up.
Gone.
Yeah. Call me crazy, but I kind of like that character. I was interested to see what they're going to do with her. Bethany Redcross. However, I want to say this is my other big complaint of the episode with her. I wish we had her motivations. All we know is that she's dating Silver Monkey, and it's implied that she's dating Silver Monkey. She's working with the guy, and she didn't want to kill Bruce Wayne. So basically, she's working with the bad guys. I wish I knew her motivation. Like, she's working with the League of Assassins intentionally. Wish she knew. I mean, I wish I knew why, so I could maybe care about her when she's getting her soul sucked out a little, or at least know why she's doing these things. Because otherwise, she just basically plays a tough girl act all of a sudden. After, you know, basically she's holding the crossbow of Bruce Wayne, and you know, Silver Monkey's basically making small talk with Silver Monkey, saying, "So you and your boyfriend here in the gorilla mask," saying, "Quiet." This is just making conversation. And Bruce Wayne as a character was good in this, just the Bruce Wayne persona.
Yeah.
Remember just saying, you know, I just realized something. This has nothing to do with me. Silver Monkey says, yeah, you're right, it doesn't. Shoots him and, quote-unquote, kills him. Shoots him with the arrow and he goes out the window. Then that motivates Katana. How did you like Bruce Wayne, quote-unquote, dying?
Like, I knew he wasn't dead, so I was like, well, okay, they're trying things. Like, there was stuff here that I, I knew just because of the way the show is that, oh, okay, they're going here, they're trying to be risque without going too far, so.
I'll admit, it's kind of weird. I think the points they were going for in this episode, on paper, they sound like great ideas. I don't know, it's just like somehow in the execution, like they're lacking just that, they're close, like 70% of that's getting through, but just that last 30%, like the punch, isn't landing exactly for me. At least for me. I mean, again, on paper and just seeing this episode, it's fine. It's a good episode. It just like Bruce Wayne getting shot. Like ordinarily, if it was me, like this happened on Batman the Animated Series. I don't mean just to compare it to that series. Like way back when, I would think, oh my God, they killed Bruce Wayne, even though you know he's Batman, he's going to come back to life. But at first you think, oh no, where is he? Like if he disappeared, like he fell into the ocean or something. Like you know he would come back, but still here saying at this point you know okay he's cooking something up. He's like wearing Kevlar under there, which was a nice touch, by the way.
Yeah.
So, again, it's not even a problem. I'm just pointing it out. It's my like gripes or taste issues with this, and the fact that I just mentioned the fact it might be a little on the nose that Bruce is up to something, and Bethany doesn't have a motivation.
Yeah. She was. Hopefully down the line we get something with her, but yeah.
Alfred was good in this episode.
Yeah, Alfred's been really good in this. Like I like that they're gone in a new direction with him that we haven't seen before. He's not just that. Oh yes, sir. I'll do everything you ask, sir. Well, sort of thing.
Really proactive, Alfred.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah. The rocket launcher.
Yeah.
Batman just asked Lady Shiva. At first, he's used the really cool acid the acid capsule.
You forgot one thing. What? The rocket. What rocket?
Rockets explode! No, wrong movie, sorry. But, yeah, that bit was cool, and, you know, Alfred shooting that rocket launcher. And again, just, if that firing scene just went over a little better, I think I might like this episode more. But it's kind of weird just to hold that against the episode.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the action, again, towards the third act, the action feels a little bit standard. I just might be getting used to the series. Just them fighting ninjas again since the fourth episode. But, you know, rewatching it, still, I'm getting the punch a little more.
Yeah. I'd probably I'd watch this episode again. I'm not...
So
I think the action kind of elevates it for me a little bit better, and like things seem to be happening quite a bit throughout this, but it's to distract. A lot of those are to distract you from the fact that not much is really going on. Yeah. I know it sounds like I'm saying two opposite things here, but story-wise, not a lot is happening. This is just to get to do that big. It's all set up to just do that big reveal at the end that, oh, I'm finally going to reveal myself to Katana, which is really cool. So, but at least they spent time on this. So yeah.
I wonder if they're going to tie Anarchy into this, because you know the Argus Club with the A, they've been seeding in since the beginning, and then you get. Then you get this building and you find out it's tied to the League of Assassins. So I'm just a little curious, like if Anarchy is going to fit into this, because I don't know, like how exactly it's going to fit in with the League of Assassins. But you know, it could just tie in with Anarchy and they're just using the space for this fight, this altercation. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Really, just the action doesn't pick up for me until Lady Shiva enters the fray for that ending. But again, rewatching this, I think it holds up better on the rewatch than the initial. That's just me, but there is one last thing I wanted to bring up about the complaint-wise about the episode.
Yeah.
It's that opening we get. I don't think it's necessary. Don't know. I like kind of playing with the format, opening out of sequence, like we see them fighting with each other, and then it just kind of circles back when he says earlier.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not that it's a bad idea. It's just it doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah, but I think we can. I think that's all right. I think we've pretty much talked about this as much as we need to.
Well, there's one last thing we need to cover.
What's that?
Well, I guess we can cover the scene of the unmasking.
I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not going to say too much about it. It's like, well, that was what we were building up to. I'm glad we got that finally. Like, I didn't need it necessarily here, but if they had waited too much longer for it, I would have started to get frustrated with it.
I think they could have held off for one more at most, if they really wanted to. But I don't think it was a bad idea to do it here.
If they'd done some other building up stuff to it, it would have been alright. Like at the end of the final episode of the season would have been like my only other thing for it. Like, yeah, that would have been the only thing.
I like how it's not exactly done like Arrow. How Diggle reacts to Oliver being Green Arrow or being the Hood guy.
Yeah.
But the reaction Katana has, like, before he unmasked, I like how she's, like, calling him on stuff like, you're crazy. You really are as crazy as they say. You used me. You used me to take down the League of Shadows. The turn against itself is really what he's saying. Because he basically manipulates, he says, I knew all about you, and I knew about Ravencroft. Which, I want to rewatch these and kind of see if they really see it in there that he knows. It's not really contradicting it, but, nothing really suggesting it. I'm going to go back and watch that. Just me. But,
yeah. Anyway.
But I'm sorry, as Leo was saying,
like I said, I haven't got too much to say on it, because it's essentially he takes off the mask and that's the end of the episode, which is a great point to end it on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like like how she's calling him and stuff, and then she's, like, actually hurt by the death of Bruce Wayne, and then he unmasks and reveals it. I like the construction of this cowl, by the way. How just, like, in computer generation formats well, that you can just, like, it's a piece that you can just slip on his head. It's still kind of a bit like a shell. I like that, and again, the mask and the whole, like, the last line, welcome to the family.
Yeah.
Should we mention your observation from the 6th episode, as, like, a little epilogue piece here?
What? Which one?
About Dr. Jason Burr.
Oh, yeah. I would like I said, I wanted to see them go on a date, and we kind of did in one episode recently.
There's a mention to it. Bruce says he wanted Jason Burr to have some. Bruce Wayne was worried about the ion cortex information. He had Katana take the night off to watch over Jason Burr.
Yeah, that was really
Which suggests kind of Magpie's idea of a date that would have, which would make a hilarious short.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that covers everything for this episode.
Yeah. Do you want to give normally we don't. Do we? It's been a while since we've done this. I would definitely say that this is one you have to watch to really get into the if you've been watching throughout the season, yeah, I'd definitely say this is one to look forward to. But I just know that you're not. Yeah, there's not a lot going on. So
it's a continuation to a plot line. So it may not be the best first introduction, but it's not a bad.
It's not a place where I'd start. I'm one of those guys that watches everything in order. So yeah.
At the end, Katana's characterization is good. She comes through in the end and save Bruce Wayne. Could have focused on that a little more, I guess. But again, not a bad episode. I think you should it's worth 2 watches just to see if you really like it. But it holds up in the rewatch. I liked it, and I recommend it. But not as your first episode. In a nutshell, I guess. Yeah. So okay.
We'll be back next time, which will hopefully not be too long away because we've got to catch up with Allies, and so.
Yep.
Was there anything referencing that that was going to be the next episode in this?
Well, it didn't appear to. I don't know. Maybe the Argus Club's probably going to factor into future episodes, but not the next one.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it fits in, but also we get Katana featured in that one, so we'll.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in, folks, and remember, beware the Batman.
Beware the Batman.